I like the South Melbourne versions of these shows because it brings truculent behaviour out of the chief, who's otherwise a pretty even-handed sort of setup these days. Purple, this normal high standard. Garry just at the end there bringing up obscure topics that we've got our heads around.
And a lot of support on Twitter for my assertion that you all got your head up your backsides and lost touch with reality.
Big Duke wanders in as well and takes his... This is where the hot breakfast is done, so he feels comfortable in here, Big Duke.
Back at home here.
That's it. And, of course, from tab.com.au is Adam Hamilton, who's been good enough to come in live.
Comfortable in this territory he is.
This is almost unheard of.
Motel just down the road.
I think it's where he must have drifted in from.
I think he's getting an early cue. Not that he none cue.
No.
The old backyard, boys. The old backyard here, yes.
It might be from the motel, and then he might slide by the bot, and then it might end up at the boutique. I think Fred's in a 4:30, 5 a.m. stop.
Bermuda Triangle, hey?
There we are. Now, very nice to see you. We got this game tonight?
Adam, you can also see a little bit of a spring in JB's step. He's got a feeling that a team that hasn't had a win yet might beat a team that hasn't beaten yet.
Yeah, well, I've certainly got a feeling along the same way, and our punters have come pretty strongly, JB, for North Melbourne. $2.30 into $2.20. Different ball game for Sydney, having to go down there. The ground should suit the Kangaroos, and it's going to be a lot harder than what Sydney's had. In racing terms, you're going from a midweeker to a wait for age to take on the Kangaroos down there, I think.
Form's been better than Sydney's form.
Yeah.
Sydney have played Gold Coast and GWS and limped across the line. North have had... Certainly,
two cracking games.
Collingwood and Geelong on the ropes both times. So I'm with you.
Get the job done, Jim, on the weekend.
Speaking of head wobble, what about the Chief? Suddenly they've turned West Coast over.
Weren't we just talking about your game then,
suddenly
Jim?
Chief's just got a little look at me about him. And what's that saying? Tab.com.au.
Well, the punters
diversion.
The punters certainly think that the Hawks will do it again this week. $1.65 into $1.58.
Black Caviar. $1.10 tomorrow. Tell us what you make of that betting and then what she does beyond that race tomorrow.
Yeah, good question, what she does beyond it. Well, she should just turn up and win. All this absolute drivel out of Sydney about different tactics and how they won't respect her the way they have down in Melbourne. Ridiculous.
Is there anyone, could Belle Sprinter maybe come and just do the last lunge, last sprint surge type thing if the race is set up in any way, shape or form?
Not unless she runs 6 lengths below her best.
Got to be honest, just before we get off Black Caviar, if you were one of the other jockeys and you had her hemmed in, you want to be known as the jockey that didn't give her a run and cost her the 25th in a row.
This is the man that just stole James Fantasia, and you're worried about giving
If I was a rival jockey, I would just somehow ease a little gap in front of her and say, there you go, girl, away you go.
You're a jockey, your horse would be just lumbering with swayback way down the back.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, see, there's just no need for that. We were hypothesising, Garry, and now I want to punch you.
And since when did you find compassion, Chief? Can I just say, Adam, on behalf of the team here, thank you for the generous voucher, $11 gift card from on Black Caviar. What did you think when you heard about Chief Frisbeed across the room and saying...
Frisbeed, I gave it to our producer.
It was no doubt. Well, the boys are saying it was an act of arrogance. But I bought in a few more. If you want me to take them out to the producers, I'm happy to do that. So.
Chief's life is an act of arrogance. It doesn't matter what he's, whether it's
yours is about to be a short-lived act of nothing.
He wouldn't have done it to old Troy Munsie if he had to come in.
Exactly.
Who's that, I guess?
Troy Mumbler.
Glenn Munsie.
Oh, Troy!
Troy Munsie.
You know what I meant.
Hey, anyway, look, in all seriousness, on Black Caviar, and I'm going to move on before my job comes into question after that, Garry. But
James O'Connell, we had in from the Melbourne Rebels today, Purple, and he said forget about contract talks around his great mate Bud, who was in here as well, by the way, playing on our pinball machine. Yeah, just today. He refused for us to let him speak to him, but he just played our pinning machine for half an hour. Anyway, James says forget about contract talks at Hawthorn. He might just slide over to Union. I said, there's an exclusive on the rush hour, so what sort of market would you frame for that on tab.com.au? Bud to change codes.
Well, it's going to be big odds, but I guess there's been some bizarre precedents that some have worked and some haven't from other codes into AFL.
Is that real, Chief?
I think a more important mark that you could frame for us, Adam, is if Jim keeps potting me, what price him getting out of here alive tonight?
I'm sensing some aggro. It might be time for me to leave before I see something I don't want to see.
He has dangled me over the edge of a boat. That is true. Adam, thanks. Good to see you. Remember, gamble responsibly. Tab.com.au.
Have a great weekend, guys.
He's got the glint in his eye, the ads, and he's got the marching out gear on as well, so he's ready to go. Ready to go, Garry.
And I apologise to Glenn Munsie. I was thinking of Troy Menzel.
Were you?
Munsie,
footballer
Menzel.
from
17-year-old.
Munsie, Menzel, Troy.
You call him Munzo.
But that's a nickname.
Munzo.
Munzo.
That's disrespectful.
It is,
No,
isn't
it's-
it?
I
He's
know
like-
it's
Garry.
Garry.
It's not
He's
dis-
now
it's
disrespected
contempt.
two people.
That's it.
Troy Menzel.
Troy Menzel.
Munzo.
Munzo.
You know what I meant?
Yeah. All right, we need to get to the break because we've got the quiz next. A Friday night version of the quiz. Our quiz host is going to take charge, and what I love about this one, Duke, is that yourself and Chief and Damo can be the lifelines, which gives me a nice little look at the quiz. A one-out look at the quiz, Chief. So I'm going to enjoy that, and hopefully you get chosen, and hopefully you don't know the answer, and then I'll be able to laugh at you. So for Coates Hire, you're listening to the Footy Preview, Australia's most experienced hire company. Look at him, Duke. You look at him so I don't have to. And your partner for every job site to help get the job.
Oh, no, he's picked up a glass.
I'm about to cop a glass.